Hi, welcome to Intervals. Today we'll be covering timesheets. In Intervals, a timesheet is not a clock-in, clock-out timesheet. Intervals is about tracking productivity and time chunks worked on tasks or on projects. That isn't to say we don't have timers to track your time. Intervals does have task and general timers. Time can also be applied manually. And when you're applying time, again, it's a unit of work performed as opposed to a clock-in, clock-out system. It's a distinction between other time tracking systems out there that we want to make sure that we point out. A timesheet in Intervals is a week's worth of work and includes a simple built-in submitting and approval process. The Intervals approval process allows time to be locked down to prevent time being changed after reports are shared with clients or if you invoice them. Users are prompted to submit their time on a weekly basis, and administrator-level users approve submitted timesheets. To view your current week's timesheet, click on the Time tab. A timesheet is 1 week worth of time entries, and here you can see that the timesheet is for 1 week, Monday through Sunday. A timesheet will not be created until time is added to a particular week. Here you can see that no time has been added, and when we navigate to Manage Timesheets, under the Current Week filter, you can see that there are no timesheets. If we go back to Mary Manager's timesheet and add a time entry, we will now see that a timesheet has been created and is displayed under Current Week. The reason we don't create a timesheet until time has been added to a given week is some customers don't track their time and use intervals specifically for task and project management, and we don't want them to be bothered with the alerts for submitting and approving timesheets. Users can submit their timesheet directly from the current week timesheet. It makes it nice and easy to do at the end of each week. If they happen to forget to submit their timesheet, the following Monday they will receive a header alert reminding them to submit it. Mondays are when timesheets become overdue. They can click on the header alert and be taken to their timesheet to submit it for approval. Only administrator-level users have permission to approve timesheets, so they will receive header alerts for timesheets that are ready for approval, as well as those that are overdue. Header alerts for admin users include all user timesheets, including their own. And when viewing overdue timesheets, you have a couple options. You can notify the users to submit their timesheets, or you can be the one to submit them for approval. Once timesheets have been submitted, you can view, approve, or reject them from the Manage Timesheets page. If you reject any timesheets, a note can be included to let them know what needs to be changed. And a quick reminder, for saving time, you can use the bulk action to approve all timesheets at once. Once a timesheet is approved, it cannot be edited. If you do need to make changes to the timesheet after it has been approved, an administrator-level user will need to unapprove it. The changes can be made, then resubmitted and approved. To unapprove a timesheet from the Manage Timesheets page, click on Approved in the left nav. You can then filter by date or other criteria to find the timesheet you're looking for. Click Unapprove on the specific timesheet, and now changes can be made. Again, the timesheet will need to be submitted and approved again in order to lock it down and prevent further changes. Let's cover some common questions we get around timesheets. Do timesheets have to be approved? The answer is no, but. We highly recommend it. The reason for that is it prevents time from changing without you knowing it, and this is especially important if you invoice clients or provide reports to them. It ensures the integrity of your data. If you follow the weekly cadence of approving time, it will be more efficient because you'll have context around what happened in the current week, and you'll be more effective at identifying any changes that need to be made. Then when you later run reports, you can really trust that the data is correct. The second reason we recommend approving timesheets is it creates a flow that improves time tracking practices. Habits can quickly be formed, and by submitting and approving timesheets on a regular cadence, you'll eventually get to the point where it feels weird not to be tracking time, and you'll be submitting and approving time without putting much thought into it. And as we have learned over the many years that we have been tracking time, knowing where your time goes is so powerful. Another question we commonly get is, what if we don't track time? No problem at all. As mentioned earlier in the video, we set up intervals so a timesheet isn't created until you actually add time to a given week. If no time is entered, you won't be bothered with alerts about submitting and approving timesheets. You can use intervals for task and project management with no problems. The next common question we get is, can I see who isn't tracking time? The answer is yes, and I'll show you how it works. Under the Time tab, click on Missing Timesheets. Any timesheet that has no time tracked for previous weeks will be found here, and you can quickly notify your team member that they need to complete their time for the specific week. In the message that is sent to the team member, a link to that specific timesheet is included for quick and easy access. One thing we want to call out here is we only display previous weeks that have missing timesheets. The current week is not included since the current week isn't technically missing yet. The last two questions we'll cover go hand in hand. Who can approve timesheets, and can we assign specific users to approve timesheets for a particular project or team? Any administrator level user can approve time. There isn't a way to assign certain people like managers to be able to approve specific resource users' time. The reason for that is the way we design project level permissions and intervals. Managers are restricted to only see people where they share access to a project. So they may not see everything that particular person is working on because they may be working on other projects that the manager doesn't have access to. So the timesheet approval mechanism would get really complicated where someone could be approving a partial timesheet for that particular project. Even though managers can only see their own timesheets, they can run reports to see the time that the team has spent on the specific projects they have access to. So the time data is there for them to access, they just don't have access to the specific timesheets. So for the administrator level users that approve time, some customers want a way to only see the teams they approve time for, and that can easily be done with saved views. In this example, we can see there are 6 submitted timesheets, but I only want to approve my team's timesheets. I go to my saved views and I click on the view I created to only see the members on my team. I can then quickly select them all and approve. I hope this answered all your questions related to timesheets. If you have any additional questions, feel free to contact us at support@myintervals.com. Have a great day.